I wanted to do a bit of an emotional update and where I'm at with all that I'm doing for bottom surgery and stuff. Um, so the past few months have been not great. Um, the stress of getting all of that stuff kind of together to find out whether or not the government would cover phalloplasty was very stressful. I've lost quite a bit of weight, um, and I've just not been very happy. I got the letter saying I was covered like 6 weeks before I was expecting it. I was expecting to get it by the end of January, and I got it within the first week of December. Um, so I opened it, and I was very happy because that stress of if I'm not covered, what will I do? There's no plan B. That was the plan, was to get the government to cover it. If they said no, then I had no plan. Um, so that weight was lifted off my shoulders, and I decided that day that I was going to be happy that day, and that was the first day that I was happy in several months, um, like genuinely happy. Um, and that lasted for a few days. That euphoria of like, okay, I'm covered. This is a reality now. Um, and I'm still kind of under the excitement of trying to get all the paperwork together. Which, if you haven't watched the video I just posted about that, I would suggest doing that first so that you know kind of where I'm at this point um, with the process. But I'm I've noticed that I'm starting to kind of um, not relate to the lower half of my body. I've made updates, I think earlier this year, maybe even late last year, about bottom dysphoria and how I knew I wanted bottom surgery, but I wasn't feeling super dysphoric. Um, and I am now starting to realize that I'm not connecting with my genitals anymore. There was a period of about a year this past year where I was pretty comfortable, more comfortable than I've ever been in my life. Um, I was in a good relationship at that time, and that was absolutely, I think, had a big part of that I was in a very good sexual spot um, with another person and then with myself as well. Um, that, my genitals weren't a problem for me at that point. I'm not in a relationship right now. I'm not in a sexual relationship right now. Um, and I'm finding now that, especially with all this bottom surgery stuff, like every day I'm thinking about bottom surgery because I have to call a million doctors and I'm getting calls from a million doctors and I'm setting up stuff and filling out forms. And like every single second of every day, bottom surgery is in the back of my mind because I have to deal with all this stuff, which is making it so that my genitals are literally on my mind 24/7, um, which I think is a problem and which is now making me really, really think about it. And also, I'm starting to think about what is it I want from bottom surgery? What exactly do I want? What is it going to give me? What is it possibly not going to give me? What will I be okay with? What will I not be okay with if things turn out certain ways? Um, so basically, I'm just thinking about my genitals constantly, which is now making me want bottom surgery now, um, as opposed to several years from now whenever the waiting list allows me to have it. Um, but I'm also nervous and anxious about everything. I live in Southern Ontario. I have never left Southern Ontario, um, ever. I've never been anywhere. I think the farthest I've ever traveled in any direction is 4 hours, and in the grand scheme of Canada, and then in the grand scheme of the world, that is not a very big spot that I have been in my 20 years of existence. Um, I'm gonna have to travel to Montreal for the consultation, probably by myself, by train, by the GO train. And I don't want to take the train. I have wicked anxiety about taking a city bus in my own city. The train is giving me a lot of anxiety. I looked up the price of what a round trip to Montreal will cost me. Um, it's a bit, almost $300. Um, I didn't mention this in the last video, but I did contact somebody for the electrolysis or laser hair removal or whatever I choose on my arm. They're LGBT friendly, and I have heard that I can possibly get a discount um, because they've contacted an organization in my community that said if they go through them and they like refer me kind of to them, that I can get a discount because I'm trans. Um, and so hopefully that works out and that'll be good. The lady seems really nice. I haven't had a consultation or anything because I want to make sure that I've, you know, figured out exactly what I need from other stuff. But I'm 99% sure I'm going to go to that place to get my arm done. But I have a lot of pieces kind of in place, but there's still so much unknown, and that's what's giving me a lot of anxiety. Um, and then I feel very alone right now because I am the only person I know who is going through this right now. Like in my life, there's so many trans people in my community, um, but I don't know anybody going for bottom surgery. Most of the trans masculine folks I know stop at top surgery. Most of them don't even want a hysterectomy. Um, and I feel I'm very grateful that at 20 years old I've already had top surgery and a hysterectomy, and I'm almost 3 years on testosterone. But most of my friends who are my age are just going through top surgery right now or just starting testosterone, and so I can't ask them for advice or help on this because I'm like everyone seems like they're here and I'm over here trying to get information, but there's no information because there's no one who has the information. Um, Up to now, I've been able to ask other people in my community, what are the doctors that are good? What are what are your tips on hysterectomy or top surgery or whatever? But I feel very alone right now because most of the people around me haven't even researched bottom surgery because they're either not interested in it or know that it's not a realistic thing for them right now. And it's kind of scary to be going into this almost blind. Um, I don't know anybody who's gone to Broussard for bottom surgery. I just don't. I've seen lots of guys online who've gone to like Dr. Crane and Dr. Chen. I've seen a few people in the UK, but I don't see anybody online who's gone to Broussard. Um, so if you know of anybody, please let me know. Um, yeah, I know I talked to somebody and they said that they know a guy who has just been, uh, who's like kind of at the same stage as me, of like he's setting up his consultation for bottom surgery. So I might get in contact with that person and maybe sit down and talk with them about their experience and whatnot, and see if we can help each other out at all, or just talk about bottom surgery. I just want someone to talk to because I feel like I'm talking at people about it, but nobody has the information to be able to hold a conversation about it, um, and like give tips or anything that they've found because they haven't done any research on it. Um, yeah, so I feel a little bit lonely right now and a little bit kind of stranded, um, because nobody else that I've talked to really can help. Um, so yeah, it's a little overwhelming is a good word. I'm a little bit overwhelmed right now. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm, you know, I can't wait for all this stuff to happen. I'm just nervous about the whole process of it. Um, yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. Um, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Um, I am very excited. I'm a bit mellow today, but I have been in a really good mood the past week or so. Um, I am very excited. I'm just, there are points where I stop to think and I just think of the magnitude of this whole procedure, um, and everything that it entails, all of the money that I'm going to have to pay, even though it's covered. Electrolysis isn't covered, the travel isn't covered, the my family, whoever's coming with me, the hotel or whatever that they have to stay in is not covered. Like I need to pay for all that, and it's a lot. It is a lot. Even if it's covered by your government, like bottom surgery is still not accessible for people at all. Yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, video topics, or like I said, any bottom surgery stuff about Broussard or anybody who's had phalloplasty, if you know of any good resources, please send them my way. I would really appreciate it. Um, thank you for watching. See you next time.